Breaking new update, is a coronavirus vaccine coming soon? 1 month? Coronavirus vaccine, where are we with? What is new coronavirus? What is new coronavirus? The new name of the new coronavirus is SARS-CoV-2 and the infectious disease is COVID-19. The new coronavirus is literally a new virus produced by genetic recombination. The virus infected humans and caused fatal symptoms. Of course, the process of genetic recombination is not caused by certain factors, but by chance. As the name suggests, it's a new coronavirus, so there aren't many scientific facts yet. Here is what we can say with certainty. Once the coronavirus has been recombined, a new type of virus has emerged from the scientific community. It was not possible to predict what form it would be. Also, the new coronavirus is an RNA virus, so it has excellent gene recombination ability. In addition to Corona-19, another new corona may come out. Based on clinical findings, Corona-19 kills infected cells and prevents the body from functioning properly. To date, clinical results have revealed that cytokine storms that overactivate immune cells can cause inflammation of the lungs and lead to acute pneumonia. Most deaths now have been attributed to acute pneumonia. In addition, Corona-19 tends to fall down due to infection from the upper respiratory tract, mouth, nose, etc. In fact, coronaviruses before Corona-19 undergoes genetic recombination are quite familiar to us. Before 2002, SARS was widely known as the seasonal cold virus. Usually 5 to 30% of our colds are caused by coronaviruses. Coronaviruses are also known to have bats. It is found not only in Chinese bats, but also in Korean bats. The development of coronaviruses seems to be unstoppable at this point in time when humans and bats are closer together and borders are free to move. Fact of coronavirus vaccine. Corona-19 has seen a growing number of people coming up with news about vaccines and treatments. The stimulating and definitive article title seems to be the development of vaccines and treatments right now, but it is not easy to develop medicines overnight. It takes 8 to 10 years for vaccines and treatments to be developed. It takes a long time from finding a candidate substance to going through animal experiments, preclinical, and conducting clinical trials on humans. Among the scholars, the endemic potential of Corona-19 is carefully spotted. Endemic refers to a situation in which you return periodically from a particular area, such as seasonal flu, cause of influenza virus. If the endemic is confirmed through continuous research, the development of vaccines and therapeutics around pharmaceutical companies will be more active. Currently, vaccine development is underway around international organizations and some pharmaceutical companies. CEPI, an international cooperation organization, has partnered with the National Institutes of Health (NIH) to actively support finance and technology for vaccine development. In addition, the U.S. Food and Drug Administration (FDA) has made it possible to enter Phase 1 within 6 months of vaccine development. In this regard, the Vice President of the International Vaccine Research Institute (IVI), Songman Ji, told SNS, the FDA is exempt from toxicity tests on technologies that have been tested for safety, such as DNA vaccines. Phase 1 is usually about 20 people and can be done quickly. But it takes time because phases 2 and 3 have to be effective. If there is active cooperation from the relevant authorities in developing Phase 2, depending on the type of vaccine, vaccines using some platforms may be available for emergencies that can be used for emergency in 1 to 2 years for small patients. Vaccine platform is a strategy to prepare for infectious diseases ahead of existing development strategy. In other words, it is a strategy to prepare vaccines for potential infectious diseases in advance and complete Phase 2 clinical trials. Drugs that have completed Phase 2 clinical trials are believed to have some safety. The strategy is to complete the development by conducting Phase 3 at the place of infectious disease and verifying its efficacy. Indeed, the Ebola virus vaccine, which was popular in Africa in 2013, was approved at the end of last year after winning a third phase in this way. When will the new coronavirus vaccine be caught? Currently, work has been undertaken to neutralize the new corona, both private and public. The International Association for the Prevention of Infectious Diseases, the Infectious Disease Prevention Alliance (CEPI), has partnered with the National Institutes of Health (NIH) to actively support finance and technology for vaccine development. In addition, Australian and Hong Kong researchers, as well as private companies such as Novavax and Inovio, also came out. The current level is moving from preclinical to clinical trials, with phase 1 clinical trials of at least 20 people expected to take another 3 months. It will take a minimum of 1 year to complete safety and validate safety and effectiveness. Clinical trials for the development of vaccines must be completed in phase 3. Phases 2 and 3, which need to be validated against hundreds to thousands of people, are different. That's why news of plunging stock prices has sometimes collapsed in the third phase of clinical trials. The development of a vaccine usually takes 8 to 10 years, from finding the candidate to clinical. The reality is that after permission, there is another challenge of mass production. We recently streamlined the procedure, starting in the United States, to enable phase 1 clinical trials within 6 months. For technologies that have been tested for safety, we have chosen cards that exempt toxicity testing because infectious diseases often disappeared before the vaccine came into the world. The streamlined procedure also applies to this incident. What if the vaccines you developed didn't have any value? It took a lot of time and money, but in many cases people could not be saved and disposed of. Sanofi launches new coronavirus vaccine. Sanofi Pasteur, Sanofi's vaccine division, accelerates the development of the Corona-19 vaccine based on his experience with SARS vaccine development. To this end, Sanofi has partnered with the Biomedical Advanced Research and Development Authority (BARDA), an organization of the Office of the Assistant Secretary for Preparedness and Response, and a long-standing partnership with BARDA. It will also expand. Corona-19 is a family of coronaviruses that can cause respiratory diseases. SARS, Severe Acute Respiratory Syndrome, SARS, coronavirus began to develop in late 2002 and disappeared in 2004. Sanofi plans to study further preclinical SARS vaccine candidates that have advanced to prevent Corona-19. David Lowe, global representative for Sanofi Vaccine, said, "We need cooperation to address global health threats, such as the latest coronaviruses." Sanofi will work with BARDA to accelerate the development of potential vaccine candidates. Utilizing our expertise, we will work with BARDA to produce very meaningful results in protecting people's health from the recent Corona-19 outbreak. Quote, Sanofi plans to use its recombination DNA technology platform to make a candidate for the new 2019 coronavirus vaccine. This recombination technology allows for the exact genetic matching of proteins found on the surface of coronaviruses. The DNA sequences encoding these antigens will be combined with the DNA of the baculovirus expression platform to produce large amounts of coronavirus antigens quickly and to stimulate the immune system to prevent viruses. Dr. Rick Bright, director of BARDA, said, "We need to respond quickly to emerging global health threats, such as the new 2019 coronavirus. We hope to speed up the development of vaccine candidates." GSK, Clover collaborate to assess protein-based coronavirus vaccine candidate. GSK announced today a new collaboration with the Coalition for Epidemic Preparedness Innovations (CEPI) that aims to contribute to worldwide efforts to develop new coronavirus 2019 nCoV vaccines. As a result, GSK will offer its infectious disease vaccine adjuvant platform technology to develop effective new anti-coronavirus vaccines. GSK is a leader in the development of innovative vaccines through a variety of adjuvant systems. Adjuvant technology is used in vaccines to enhance the immune response and promotes stronger and longer-lasting immunity to infection than when only vaccines were used. Adjuvant technology is particularly important in epidemic situations because it reduces the amount of antigen required per dose, allowing more vaccines to be produced, thereby providing more vaccines to more people. Richard Hatchett, CEO of CEPI, said, "The use of GSK's leading adjuvant technology is a major step forward in the development of new coronavirus vaccines. We are currently investing in GSK's adjuvant system. Combined with pioneering platform technology, we can reduce the amount of antigen needed to produce a vaccine effect and thus create the potential to deliver more vaccines quickly to more people. Quote, "The antigen-sparing effect makes the vaccine more widely available and increases the number of people who benefit from it. We are a leader in the field of science and innovation, and we believe we can contribute to the fight against new coronavirus through our advanced adjuvant system," said GSK Thomas Brewer, Chief Medical Officer of Vaccine Medicine. "Our adjuvant technology it has also been used successfully in a flu pandemic." Quote, "This technology allows us to produce more vaccine doses because it allows us to use only a small amount of vaccine antigens, which is a very important advantage in epidemic situations. CEPI will act as a coordinator between CESK-supported companies and GSK, who want to test their vaccine platform using GSK's adjuvant technology to develop effective new coronavirus vaccines." The first agreement between the two was signed between GSK and the University of Queensland, Australia. The University of Queensland began working with CEPI in January 2019 to develop a molecular clamp vaccine platform to enable rapid targeted vaccine production to prevent multiple viral pathogens. CEPI has decided to extend its support for vaccine platforms to the development of new coronavirus vaccine candidates, and this early-stage research is supported by access to GSK adjuvant technology. GSK believes that CEPI is realizing its response to the emergence of new coronaviruses, said Roger Connor, president of vaccines at GSK. "We are willing to work with other partners who have promising vaccine platforms that can take advantage of our adjuvant technology. The team at Queensland is currently running a new coronavirus vaccine program," said Peter Ho, Vice President of the University of Queensland. "We'll be able to perform." Quote, Johnson & Johnson, J&J. Johnson & Johnson, J&J announced on Monday, Janssen and the U.S. Department of Health HHS Biomedical Advanced Research and Development Authority BARDA, has announced an expansion agreement to develop a vaccine. Janssen and BARDA partnered to develop the Ebola vaccine in 2017. The agreement is based on J&J's policy of a multi-pronged response to the development of Corona-19. Under the U.S. government's Other Transaction Authority (OTA), BARDA will fund the development of Janssen's vaccine candidates for clinical trials. Janssen will mobilize resources to expedite the early stages of the Corona-19 vaccine development program, and increase manufacturing and production scale to meet public health needs. For this, Janssen plans to use its own technologies C6 and AdVac. C6 technology is a cost-effective manufacturing system that enables rapid production of high-yield vaccines or monoclonal antibodies on a large scale. This technology is particularly useful for the slow growth of virus-based vaccines and vaccines that need to be used worldwide. AdVac technology is based on the development of adenovirus vectors for use as gene carriers. It can be used with C6 technology to develop recombinant vaccines against infectious diseases. Both technologies have also been used to develop Ebola vaccines. Janssen used the C6 technology to produce 2 million monovalent vaccines in a year to prevent the spread of infections caused by the Ebola virus in West Africa. Vaccines developed in this way are now available in the Democratic Republic of the Congo (DRC) and Rwanda. Janssen is also applying both technologies to Zika, RSV and HIV vaccine candidates. Universal vaccine, super coronavirus vaccine. Does all virus protection come out of super vaccine? You can imagine this because vaccine development is difficult. Wouldn't it be possible to have a super vaccine that immunizes you from all viruses? In fact, scientists are developing a universal vaccine with the same idea. The subject is an influenza virus that causes the flu. Some vaccines are still in phase 3 and are expected to produce results soon. It is still early, but the general vaccine against the coronavirus is being designed as an idea. The principle of a universal vaccine is simple. Until now, vaccines have produced antibodies that target the bumps on the surface of the virus, and when mutations occur, new vaccines have to be made. However, attacking the core protein directly inside the virus surface allows for universal use because mutations do not change shape. The shield of vaccines is evolving day by day to prevent the rapidly changing virus. In fact, it is no exaggeration to say that there is a virus on the running vaccine, but humans are constantly dealing with viruses in new ways. MERS and Zika are like yesterday, but now it's hard to predict when the new corona will end. In the absence of vaccines or therapeutics, the most reliable shield to protect yourself is personal hygiene and strong immunity.